I will display what we have recovered so far. The video we have decrypted is of the transmat area known as the Drop.
What are those cylinders standing there for, Eric? Are they some kind of cryogenic chamber, or...?
That's what I thought, since they are man-sized.
They are transmat energy pattern buffers.
That means they could have transmatted hundreds of prisoners up from the surface.
What?
He's right, John. Show them the list we recovered. Eric.
Look at those names. Eric, zoom in right there.
MDK-187. Assassin droid, 174 confirmed kills.
Dederic Jax, alias Deadeye, Carcarian mercenary, 256 counts of first-degree murder.
Dr. Theopolis Hua.
I know that name.
A lot of people do. He created Gamma-693, the Romero virus, 245 trioxin, and a whole other boatload of biological warfare goodies.
He was tried and found guilty of crimes against the whole sentient creation.
Anyone else notice the pattern?
With the exception of Hewer, they're all highly trained, mercenaries, assassins. Most are ex-military, and...
easily bought off.
They've assembled a small army. A terrorist army.
Oh, it gets better. Bring up the next set of images, Eric.
These images appear to have been taken from the unknown vessel.
That's Tobias.
Who's the man next to him?
Jeavis Burton.
Now it's beginning to make sense. He's the right-hand man to Jedediah Kane, head chairman of the Inner Consortium, one of the founders of the Transstellar Authority.
But what's their game?
What is it, Sparks?
I just got word from some of my contacts on the Omulink. The enforcers are dispatching a ship to go now to pick us up. We have all been labelled as persons of interest in the investigation of the Sprat 6 prison incident.
That's not possible. I'll vouch for...
You have been implicated as well, Captain Toasty. They issued warrants for all of us.
What's the charge?
Premeditated murder of all the enforcers on the bridge.
Sparks, recall everyone to the ship immediately. Tell everyone to get prepped for dust-off, and then get me a secure comm to Marvin.
Who is Marvin?
Who the heck else do you call when you're humped? Marvin's my lawyer.
How did you do it?
TCB did the majority of the work in that area.
I followed Commander Grimsdyke and Krog to the safe room. After their untimely demise, I went back and hacked the computers in the safe room and wiped them. I made sure that when the enforcers arrived, they found some rather cleverly edited video files that were recoverable.
Making it appear that the Derbyshire crew attacked the bridge to loot its armory.
Well played, both of you. Will they be able to sort out that footage is faked?
Any inconsistencies in the files will be blamed on the damage from the plasma burst. The enforcers will be out for blood. Freedom and his crew will likely be dead before anyone is the wiser.
Tobias, your cyberleks have outdone themselves.
These Dragolar power armors are perfect copies.
Are those Shrike-class attack fighters?
They're older models I got off the black market, but they've been modified and made to look as the newer ones do. My boys have been busy.
Just to refresh your memories, as far as the Alliance knows, you are all still on Sprat 6. All of your records have been wiped. If you perform the tasks assigned to you, you'll be rewarded with new faces, new identities, and a generous nest egg to to begin your lives anew.
You will all be monitored, and should any of you decide to deviate from the mission parameters, you will be terminated.
Remember, the objective is to leave some of the colonists alive. On your display monitors is a layout of the colony. Do not damage the hyperlink station. Once we have confirmation the Alliance Navy is en route, we will beam you back up and retreat.
At ease for now, boys. But spend the next half hour or so familiarizing yourself with the equipment and the mission objectives.
Mistress, inquiry?
What is it, TCB?
You told me the plan was to beam off as many prisoners as possible. At least 1,000, if memory serves. Why are there only 50 here?
I don't know.
That's because the ex-military and mercenary crowd, the ones we could control, with money or otherwise, were assigned to this mission. The murderers, cutthroats, and all-around maniacs were dispatched elsewhere.
For what purpose?
That is none of your concerns. Now, get suited up. We strike Gamma Ray within the hour.
Enter. What is it, Eric? We've got 3 hours in hyperspace until we rendezvous with Marvin, and I'm definitely going to hit that rack for... Well?
Sparks sent me down here.
Oh, and I keep wondering just why? Why do I keep a working comm system on this ship when I have little Eric's messenger service?
Sparks is too busy having an emotional thing.
Okay, you got me. Why is that, Eric?
The Earth colony on Gamma Ray has been attacked.
How many colonists on Gamma Ray?
More to the point, how many more are going to die before you wake up and quit denying the facts that are right before you?
You're out of line, Buckethead.
The matter is simple. The facts are obvious. Your mind deflects the truth. She gave you something. Start there.
Vicky? Well, she gave me Libby's nullifier. Back in the old days, they called it a neuralizer. It's in pristine condition.
She claimed plasma burst missiles were used on the Wars Hussein and that the hull was split open.
It's made of beryllium. It should be melted or drifting in space. And the name engraved on the side. She said that all the shuttles were still on the Wars Hussein.
Yet you and I know that one of them escaped the Skydock with the hollow message Nicodemus gave you. Say it.
But I've known Vicky for
Think. I receive orders from a nearby source in hyperspace. Nardo's ship explodes, and the Jeffrey Gomez conveniently appears. She volunteers to stay on the bridge, and shortly after, warrants are issued for your arrest. Say it!
Vicky is the traitor. You knew, didn't you? How long? How long did you know?
I suspected at first, but the pieces fell in place quickly.
Any other great revelations you want to tell me now?
She bugged your quarters. I disabled it. I have done sensor sweeps of the Derbyshire, but I highly recommend a full search before we make our rendezvous. Dr. Schoffield and I may have found a way to use the Cyberlick head to our advantage.
Attention all hands, attention all hands. Security alert. I repeat, security alert. Set condition due throughout the vessel. Prepare to divide yourselves up into teams and begin scanning for possible trackers and or listening devices. Report to the bosun for further details. That is all. Elizabeth Clara Stewart was the name neatly engraved on the side of the nullifier. Libby's full real name, which should have been clue one that something was wrong. Nullifiers, or neuralizers as they used to be called back in the old times, are memory erasure devices. They were only issued to sitting members of the Council of 12 and to only used in the most dire circumstances, mainly on the individual themselves in case of capture or interrogation, and only to be used on others in the most extreme emergencies. And given the fact that this technology can easily be misused for personal gain, they are forbidden in nearly every civilized sector of this galaxy. So why would Libby have been dumb enough to engrave her name on the side of hers? Also the fact that, on a personal note, only few of us know this, Libby hated her full name. She felt that Elizabeth was too regal, too royal, too fancy, too posh for her. So that's why she insisted everyone call her Libby. Call her Beth, Betty, Liz, or any other derivation of that name, and chances are you'd get your lights knocked out. Eric may be a cold, maniacal bastard, but he was right about one thing. The clues were there from the beginning. I just didn't want to see them. But let's move on. 3 hours later, the Derbyshire dropped out of hyperspace near the Gorana system. Waiting on the backside of the fourth planet behind its second moon was a very familiar ship. A Mark IX Hawk that had spent 30 years marooned on a desolate, wandering moon known as Tanamaku now approached the Derbyshire to dock. It had been refurbished over the last few months and rechristened the Phoenix. We gathered in the wardroom, and for those of you who missed our previous adventure, you're about to meet Marvin, a 437-year-old Tortugan, basically a humanoid tortoise, whose legal expertise is well known throughout the galaxy.
It is good to see you, John. Nicodemus sends her regards. I have read your preliminary update, so I know everyone here. Why are we having this meeting on board the Phoenix?
Well, for one, I wanted to see all that you've done with the ship. I love the wood paneling here in the wardroom. Plus, it's not like we can go anywhere near a civilized system at the moment. There's no easy way to say it, so I'm just gonna say it. Vicky has betrayed the Resistance, the Council of 12, and everything we've stood for.
It's hard to believe.
Eric has already found 3 tracers she planted on the ship. He is still scanning for more.
How many did our troopers find, Marenghi?
We found 3 more in the shuttle hangar.
Which is why we're having this meeting on board the Phoenix. We have to put the pieces together. Bosun?
I had a funny chat with the crew of the Gomez. It seems that a few years ago, the company had some incidents where they could not pay some of their crews due to insufficient funds.
I did a little research on this and found out that Amelia Oswald, Vicky's grandmother, passed away after a long illness and left Oswald shipping to Victoria. The company had some serious financial downfalls and major stock losses.
About 5 years ago, the company merged with Farragut Freight Line. I became Osgood Shipping Inc.
Thorogood was ran through several holding companies that tied back to Ramirez Industries.
Ramirez is a front company for Kane Enterprises. Poor Victoria.
Oh my goodness. That would explain it, John.
That's just one piece. Angus, what did you find out?
Well, boss, you see, here's the thing. The vessel that attacked the Cisco matches the specs for a prototype ship, codenamed the Black Manta. It has a cloaking shield, and believe you me when I tell you, it's armed to the teeth.
I studied the specs Angus got from his source. 2 forward quantum torpedo launchers, 4 forward phase disruptor cannons, and 2 aft. It was designed for black bag operations, special forces, infiltration, espionage, you name it.
I heard about this one. The cloaking shield had some flaws and the cost of making one was astronomical. The project was abandoned and the ship mothballed somewhere into the deepest, darkest recesses of a warehouse somewhere in the hands of top men.
Sparks, what do we know about the attack on Gomorrah?
Galactic News Network is already speculating that it was a Daguerreau strike force. Apparently, there were fire troopers seen, as well as several Shrike attack fighters.
How did they find all this out?
One of the colonists uploaded videos of the attack onto the Army link.
That can't be true. Dracula fire troopers would have wiped out the hyperlink station first. They don't leave witnesses.
So a distress signal went out along with civilian footage? Sloppy. It's like they wanted it to be seen.
So you believe that this attack and the prison break are somehow correlated?
I studied the list of possible escapees. At least 50 of them were ex-military with special forces training. A quite unsavory bunch.
The Shrike class attack fighter hasn't changed much over the last 20 years. They could have easily gotten them at a surplus auction or on the black market.
Why would they attack a colony and frame it on the Dragulus?
It doesn't make any sense.
Between all the crap going on in the disputed zone and the trade embargoes, this whole area is a powder keg. They're trying to light the fuse.
Oh, by the Great Maker. They're going to kill the Prime Emperor.